Aloha and good day, friends and yogis. I'm Nicole Spirit, and today in the house we have PukaDog. I decided to just bring one special guest because then the silliness factor is reduced quite a bit. And of course, everybody looks to see Puka. She's doing really well. And today's class is in honor of the Gemini full moon with the alignment with the constellation known as the Pleiades. So I actually have the Pleiadian Wisdom Oracle cards with me today. And if you follow me on Facebook, Nicole Spirit, you'll know that the puppies usually help me do a reading every day. So today is like no other. I will ask Puka if she can pick a card for us. PukaDog, can you pick a card? That one? Okay, thank you. Yeah, and so it's a bit of a special class, just really honestly channeling the best energy for us at this time. As we know, full moons are very powerful. They can have a lot of big energies and things happening for us. And yeah, just noticing what's going on for you in your life. The Pleiades are interesting because they're a star cluster known as the Seven Sisters, and they're in the constellation of Taurus. And they're a very bright constellation that's very small, but it looks like a little mini dipper. So let's see which card PukaDog picked for us today. So it's in the suit of nature, and it's actually a really cool word. It's resonance. To understand the energy of a place, feel the energy of the land through your hand and foot chakras. I love that. So we probably don't realize this, but we have energy centers in our hands and also in our feet. We talk about the chakras, spinning wheels of light, the main seven that are up the front line of the body or up the midline of the body. And the chakras in the hands and the feet are a little bit different. So let's go and activate some hands and feet points. So we're going to start by just silk reeling, just making a few movements with our hands to open up the wrists and the fingers, and then go the other direction. And you might notice the sacred shape of the spiral is happening here. And it's really interesting to think about the spiral because there's a plus and a minus, and what's in between is the spiral. So it's a very divine energy. Now we're going to activate Lao Gong, which is basically like a power point in the center of our hands. So where you would think the very center of your hand is, that's where you're going to press with your opposite thumb. So pressing into my hand here, I'm just going to press and release. You're not necessarily going to feel anything, but I want you to imagine that it's like turning on the taps of love energy flowing out from your heart through your hands. So let's massage one hand for about 20-30 seconds. You can press and release, you can make little circles, then we do the other side. Smile, sit up tall. Remember the acronym for SMILE is start my internal love energy. So even if the full moon does affect you, and some people say it doesn't affect me, but you know, we can say that the sun doesn't affect us, the moon doesn't affect us, the tides don't affect us, but it all does. So we want to just make sure that we're kind of tuning in, and maybe smiling and shaking our tree is one of the most powerful things we can do today. Let's access this beautiful expression of our unconditional love energy from our heart, coming out of the hands just for another couple of moments. The Pleiadians were said to be our star brothers and sisters, cousins. We have DNA apparently that we share with Pleiadians. And their mantra to us, or their teaching to us, is that unconditional love solves all problems. And that is a really beautiful thing. Now let's go down to the feet. We're going to take a couple of moments just to give our own feet a little bit of a rub. So you can come into your butterfly pose, which is your feet touching each other, or you can just rest one foot kind of on top of the other ankle. Now I want you to press. Basically, it's not quite the center, but I want you to draw a line from your middle toe, and I want you to go past the ball of your foot to that little indent. This is actually called the diaphragm line in reflexology, and the middle of that is a beautiful acupressure point known as bubbling spring, kidney 1. So we're going to press and release, and this actually relates very much to our own breathing. It's going to help us to take a deep breath. So press this point, big inhale breath, and then exhale and gently release. You can still hold the point, just don't put any more pressure, and then we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, we're going to press right where the color changes in the foot, under the middle toe. There might even be like a little divot or indent for kidney 1. And we do this with a little bit of pressure and intention. In reflexology, we call this the solar plexus relaxation point, because I guess they didn't want to steal full-blown names from the acupuncture world, Chinese medicine. All right, let's release. So solar plexus, of course, is that center spot in our body. And of course, because it relates along the diaphragm, it's going to have that really interesting effect on hopefully helping us breathe deeper and calm down. So go under your middle toe, and you're going to find along that diaphragm line, basically where the foot changes color, that it's almost like your middle finger or your thumb indents there. And we're going to press on the inhale. You can press in and up a little bit. Don't worry if you're not doing it right. It's all good. Just that you're doing this is doing it right. And release. Let's do 2 more times. So when I'm doing reflexology on you or somebody, I am actually pressing into that point. And what's neat about giving somebody a foot massage or acupressure on their feet is that I can press different ways rather than we can press on ourselves, if you know what I mean. It's maybe harder to get that pressure. Let's do 1 more. In and up. Get a little bit different class than usual, but you know, if we activate unconditional love and remember to take vitamin O right into our heart center, then we're doing really well. Good. Let's release that. I want you to just pause for a moment, see how you feel. You might have absolutely no difference from pressing these points or not, but I do find that when I press this kidney 1 point on my clients, that they really tend to take a deep breath and calm down. And even in a 1-hour foot reflexology session, if I can get my client to take 1 really powerful breath, that's like a big inhale, and then it's like this sigh that almost won't stop on the exhale. That to me is actually a really therapeutic shift and a nice way to come into homeostasis or balance. So let's put our hands on our own heart. I want you to guide your attention and awareness from your mind into your heart. If it's uncomfortable to be sitting this long, you can always sit on a chair, or you can be lying down. And we can just really tune into our own heart for a couple of moments. I want you to think about something that you're grateful for. Then think about someone that you're grateful for. And then thinking about life and seeing if we can create a feeling of being grateful for our human life. And no matter what is happening right now, can we imagine, can we pretend, can we intend that our biggest challenge is actually possibly our biggest gift right now? So my shirt says positive vibes. It's a little Christmas shirt with the little pug wearing the antlers, and I'm obviously a dog person. Doesn't matter if it's a pug or a puka. And of course, sending love to all your dogs, to all your cats, to all your animals, and to all of you. I'm grateful for you, grateful for this channel where we get to maybe play and learn a bit about the Pleiades and the full moon. Good. And then we're going to release our arms. We're going to do a few spinal circles. So let's take the hands onto the knees. If you're laying down, gently make your way up. If your legs are getting a bit sore, perhaps consider crossing them, and the other leg is in front. Hands are on the knees. We're going to spiral our chest from the left knee to the right, and then exhale as we loop back around. So keep your sitting bones nice and grounded, and just notice, sense, and feel this nature of your sitting bones grounding you, your spine reaching up, and also spiraling. And remember, we talked about the spiral as a sacred shape. Now, what's very interesting is there is an energy around our heart that's a spiral, and it's actually called the toroidal field. And it's known as a torus around our heart. We actually have 7 muscles around our heart that create an electromagnetic field that's a spiral. So when we tune into that, we can make it very empowering, or we can also realize that perhaps it's draining. So we want to imagine that that spiral at the heart is positive, it's magnetic. Your heart is a giant electromagnet, and without your heart, you couldn't be alive. We could live with other organs, but without the heart, we can't live. Let's do 2 more circles. Smile, soften your face, see how you're feeling, see if you can let go of thinking for a few more minutes. Let's release the shoulders down, sit up tall, just noticing your body, feeling, sensing, enjoying, feeling your energy internally and externally. Hopefully we can create a beautiful environment around us when we're doing our practice. All right, let's go the other direction. This time from right knee to left, big inhale across the body, and then exhale back around. So feeling your Kundalini energy rise, that's said to be your dormant spiritual energy. We're in Sagittarius now, which has the image of the centaur, which is half man, half beast. And they say that it's also the energy of like raising up away from our really basic animalistic nature to coming into our advanced human light mind nature. And supposedly the Pleiadians know us as the hues instead of humans, and hue means light and man means mind. All right, let's do 2 more circles. If you've never heard of the Kundalini, that's okay. If you've heard of it, I want you to think about becoming really good friends with your shadow. Come to center, come to stillness, close your eyes for a moment, see how you feel. Continue a nice, long, smooth breath. And remember, when our breath count is 5 seconds on an inhale or more, and 5 seconds on an exhale or more, that we actually tune into our parasympathetic nervous system. And I've said this before, it's all the good R words. Rest, repair, rejuvenate, relax, restore. If you can think of more, write them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like this video. I really appreciate that. So take 1 more breath. Let's aim for a 7 count inhale. 7 count exhale, nice and smooth. Good. And now we're going to do our ha breaths, and we're going to activate our internal butterfly, dragonfly, firefly, whatever's going on for you. Basically, the last couple years has felt like we're a caterpillar in the cocoon, turning to goo, diseasing ourselves, so that this butterfly can eventually pop out with the imaginal cells. Look that up, it's a real word, that will help us to activate. How do we turn from a gooey little caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly that can actually, fly? So metaphorically, let's activate our internal butterfly energy so that we can overcome some of that gooey, yucky, weird energy that we've been going through for the last almost 3 years. Inhale the arms up. Second part of the word aloha, ha, exhale. Ha is also the heart sound, the heart healing sound. 2 more breaths. Ha is also the word that stands for the letter 4, or number 4. Okay, and when we think about the number 4, we think about stability. We think about a square and how we're going to grow ourselves from a stable foundation rather than something that's really wobbly. So your breath is your stable foundation. Let's come off of our seat now. We're gonna arrive with our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And just like our card indicated today, really rooting into the earth with our hand and foot bandhas. So we're gonna curl the toes under. Let's just do a couple of rounds of cat-cow. We're gonna lift the head and the hips, the belly sinks, and then we're gonna exhale and we're gonna round the spine and bring the chin to the chest and drop those hips and the spine is elevated. So you know this one, just go with your own breath, go with your own flow. Let's do one more in each direction. Wherever you're at, try to smile, enjoy your breathing, and then come to a flat, neutral spine. See how this feels here, just enjoy for a moment. Let's just give our hands a little bit of love, a little bit of energy into the wrists. So if you can, curl your toes and sink back on your heels. Now this is a little ouchy, it can be very, very tender, so I want you to see how it feels, really honor that, and if it's not working at all, then just perhaps sit down on your feet. And what we're gonna do is just gently massage each wrist. So just take one hand and massage your other hand and especially concentrate on the wrist. Then do the other side. If it's available, you're still sitting with your toes curled under and remembering that the toes connect to the neck. So when we open up our toes, we actually get a release in the neck and shoulders. What? Seems unbelievable, but it's true. Now, a slightly different stretch for the feet. We bring the hands down, we're gonna flatten the feet, and we're gonna try to lift our knees, pushing our feet into the ground. If that doesn't work for you, you can always come onto your forearms, see what it's like to lift your knees. If it's available, we're here for one more breath, really pushing into the tops of the feet, good, and then release down. Now, take your hands and bring them out to the sides, and then see if it's available to bring your fingers facing your knees. You might open up and bring the knees apart again. So we're smiling, we're chilling, we're having a good time, and then maybe we make a couple of very slow circles, really honoring the wrists. Don't dump all your weight there. Try to engage your core. Notice that middle body strength. Good. And feel that. Come back to center. Let's very gently release our arms. We're going to curl the toes under, and we're going to go into a nice downward facing dog just for a couple breaths. And today we'll walk the dog. Lift the knees. When they hear that expression, they wake up for a sec. All right, bend the knees, send the hips really high. Again, don't dump all your weight into your hands and wrists. Maybe even make little paws with your fingers and press the finger pads in. And let's just lift and lower through the knees, through the heels, walking it out, pedaling it out. See what's happening. Your head is below your heart here. That's really good. Excellent. And then we're going to bend the knees. We're going to lower back to the ground. We're going to bring the legs forwards. Scooch your feet to the side and then come onto your seat. Now, we're going to do a reverse tabletop. So, thinking about our connection to the earth with our feet and our hands. So our fingers are going to be facing towards the bum, towards our body. And you can hang out here. If you think that this is enough, or if you feel like this is too much on your wrists, you can always lower down onto your forearms and see this motion. Feel this position. Again, notice how this is really opening up your neck and shoulders. We're getting a really nice release in the chest. Our heart is shining at the Pleiades, at the full moon, at the sun, and maybe we can even call in what's known as our family of light. So let's raise up, if you haven't already, onto your hands, and we're going to push the ground away, and we're going to come up as much as is comfortable, and then tip our head back. Now you might feel this very powerfully in your shoulders. Notice if your bum's really sinking, and it's okay if it is, but I want you to notice how this is quite the opposite arm position of down dog. Now, fun fact, this is also an excellent position for relieving tension in the neck and shoulders, especially if you have a headache. Now, I'm not going to suggest you hang out here for 3 minutes if you have a pounding headache, but you know what? It's going to help. So one thing I've been able to overcome this year, or stop using, is ibuprofen. I've been quite addicted to it for most of my adult life. Good, where are you? Let's release down. Whew, that was no joke. So yeah, why not try that for a minute or two if you have a headache, rather than ibuprofen. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to put ibuprofen out of business, but maybe there are some natural remedies. Maybe we have a glass of water, maybe we meditate for 10 minutes and our headache goes away, maybe. All right, arms are to the sides, we're gonna give ourselves a hug. I want you to wrap your fingers into your shoulder blades and just even massage a little bit. And I want you to tell yourself and mean it, I love you. Thank you. Love yourself, it's your most attractive quality. Take care of yourself, your cup will be much more full to help love others. All right, let's open the arms wide. Let's bring the opposite arm on top. Now, I want you to feel that love for self, absolutely. And I want you to feel the love for the other now. There's this really neat little saying, the other person is you. So when we see something we like in somebody else, maybe we have that quality. And when we see something we dislike in somebody else, maybe we want to have compassion, but maybe we want to also just release that energy. All right, let's give ourselves a little squeeze all the way down the arms, and then we'll shake it out. The garbage truck is here, so it's loud, it makes all kinds of noise. Puka, here's the garbage truck too. All right, so now we're gonna transition, come off of your seat, and I want you to arrive on your hands and your knees into a little yogi squat. So just spiraling from side to side. Then, no. We're gonna gently start to come up and come into the star pose. Come here, it's just a garbage truck. So star pose, we actually raise up, come here, pretty, come here. Okay. Just because Finn barks doesn't mean you have to, my Princess Puka. Fun fact, Puka's first name was Princess. We changed that pretty quick. All right, so we're on our feet. If it's available, you've rised up or risen up onto your balls of your feet and you're doing a star pose. And I want you to pick one of the stars of the Pleiades, learn a name, and be that star for this week, this month, this year. Right now, for whatever reason, I'm going to choose Electra. So you can pick a name. Another way that you can find out the Pleiadian planets or stars is, gosh, are you still here? Thanks. Is to look up the 7 sisters from the Greek mythology of how the actual Pleiades got their name. Good. Release your heels, release your arms. We're just gonna give our legs a little wake up here. Just take the foot and spiral at the ankle. So feel your toes opening, then go the other way. Good. Then do the left side. This is really good for balance. If your foot is off the floor, really open and articulate through the bones, then go the other direction. Good. And then just pause for a moment. Let's bring our attention to our knees, bring our hands onto our knees. We're gonna spiral inwards, make some circles. I think Puka's standing at the door, wants to come back in. Did she wreck the whole video? No. My cute Pleiadian dogs, go the other way. So another cool thing is supposedly our sun, we all know about our sun, is actually the 8th star of the Pleiades constellation. Release. Pleiades constellation is 444 light years away, which is another angel number, 444. All right, so now we're gonna open up through the hips and the waist. So we're just gonna lean back a little bit and then hinge forward. You can put your hands on your kidneys, send in good energy. This is our vitality center of the body. And if it doesn't feel good to go back, don't. Just stand up, hinge forward, and come back up. Have fun, smile. The main message that I've been learning about from the Pleiades for the last 20 years, and finally it's cool to talk about this kind of stuff, is that they are our cousins teaching us about the vibration of love and how we can access unconditional love by coming to our heart center. Good. Let's pause for a moment. So you're in a standing position now, and we're going to bring our arms by our sides, and we're just going to breathe. Now, we haven't done this before together, but we're going to try it today. Teacups. So bring your left hand onto your waist, and your right arm is going to stay up, facing up. Good. So what I'm going to do is bring my right hand to my right side waist, and then I'm going to bring it overhead. All the while I'm circling my hips. So the hand goes past the waist, the hips are out to the sides, and then it goes overhead and the hips are forward. If it's way too much, just do the arm. So you're working with your right arm right now. And we're trying to imagine that we've got a tray of teacups on our hands. So we try to keep our hand in the same position. Good. Then we're just going to leave that hand out to the side. Bring your left hand out. And we'll do the same thing. So left hand is going to spiral in past the waist. Then it's going to go up and overhead. So spiral in past the waist and then up overhead. Again, as much as you can, keeping your palm flat. This is called teacups. And when we get good at this, I promise you, we'll do them both at the same time. Seems almost impossible. Every time I try to do it, it looks a little wonky. Good. Let's do 2 more spirals. Excellent. And then release and bring it back to hands on the waist. Let's just do one nice little movement for our neck and shoulders. We're going to take our feathers and float our wings out to the sides, open, spread the feathers, the fingers. We're going to bring our chin down, roll your chin to the right, and then just a very small little movement here where we're rocking our chin back and forth. Really small, you might not even see it, but just feel this nice stretch, especially in the left side of your neck. Good. Then we're going to drop our chin down to our chest and roll it over to the left. And same thing. Bring your chin towards the shoulder and then just rock gently side to side. Excellent. Breathing. We'll bring our chin to the chest. Let's release our feathers, our wings back down by our sides. And we're going to finish off with my move that I mentioned earlier. If you're not feeling great, hopefully you're feeling good by now, but if you need some more, we're going to shake our tree. So start to shake and vibrate and smile. Now, you know that little saying, fake it till you make it? If things are rough, ponder some of the things that we've talked about today, that perhaps some of the challenges in your life are the best things happening for you right now. And your human might be going, this is awful, but see if we can somehow embrace positivity, lift and lower your heels too for shaking. Try to be optimistic. And I love this little saying, if you have a glass of water that's half full of water, then the other half is air. So it actually is full. Your cup is always full. So what you need is positivity, good visualization, the ability to manifest, the idea that your heart is an electromagnet and that we need to point the positive end at life. I also really like the saying, be happy and then find a reason. My last saying that I really like is, happiness is wanting what you already have. Come to stillness, smile, pause, and feel your chi. So remember the most positive things in life: love, affirmation, kindness. Know that your angels, your guides, God, Goddess, source energy, whatever you want to call it, will never try to get anything from you, never try to sell you anything. So mostly, we just want to tune into unconditional love and kindness as our barometer for when things go wrong. So especially, if you're not knowing what to do next, maybe you just simply say, I choose love. And you don't know what's going to happen, but you keep breathing. Find that 5-count inhale and exhale or longer, and smile and think positive thoughts. And notice how your heart, if you hold a positive thought in your mind and bring it to your heart for meditation for 16 seconds, you start to change the atomic field around you. Remember that torus, the toroidal field that we were talking about? And if you want to get really nerdy, the equation that represents that toroidal field around your heart, around your body, around every single thing, is called the vector equilibrium. Look it up, it's a real thing. All right, there's a great movie called Thrive, where one of my quantum mechanics heroes, Nassiem Harrimein, discusses this toroidal field around the heart. Perhaps I'll include that little video in the link. Yes, I will. All right, so I want you to visualize a beautiful spiraling of energy around your heart, and it's just getting thicker and more vibrant with love and kindness, health and happiness. And you might even say something like that, I am healthy, I am happy. And if we can extend that energy to others, we've done an incredible service for humanity. So I know today's class wasn't super big on the asana part or postures, but we really anchored in some great statements to do with love and healing and the Pleiades, or our Pleiadian brothers and sisters. And Christine Day is a Pleiadian ambassador. Elizabeth April, Barbara Marciniak, Barbara Handclough, Amora Kuan Yin, Karuna Ray, Karuna Flo. These guys, the Lama Arca, which are a collective of Pleiadians, are all said to be, and there's hundreds of people channeling the Pleiadians, Lori Ladd. And this might be when I get really weird on you, but if you're interested in any ancient cultures on the planet, like the Mayans or the Buddhists, they all have a connection with the Pleiades. So, pretty magical. What's that all about? Maybe we'll discover that our DNA has all kinds of cosmic parts to it in the next few years as things unravel and we're shown and told and felt what our truth is, rather than it being suppressed and hidden from us. That your superpower is love, that you are a superhuman, and that you are amazing. Now, I didn't really mention this, but if you're not there already, we're in a nice meditative standing position. Our feet are shoulder width apart, the knees a little bit bent, the tailbone a little bit sunk, the chest a little bit down, and the chin a little bit down so the top of our head reaches up. And our hands are in Wuji, which is just a neutral starting position. It's called the highest state of nothing. And we're just chilling out, standing in meditation. If you chose to go to the ground, now's a good time. Or if you're already there, we're just breathing and meditating. So I want you to think about coming into your heart and accessing what's called the family of light. And that's all of the particles that ever loved you, besides human beings and animals and trees. I'm talking about, you know, your real cosmic mother and father, like how your first sparks were created in your soul. And it said that our DNA actually holds all of our story. It's just that it's dormant or sleeping. So don't forget to talk to your DNA. Tell your DNA it's smart. Tell all of your body that it's smart and you believe in its healing and its consciousness and happiness and good health and wellness. Good. We're going to finish off by bringing our hands over our belly, and we'll step the feet together. Now, I have a meditation bowl that I'd like to play. If you aren't into that, that's okay. If you think that it's something you might like to hear, then I'm going to play it now. And I just want you to take a couple of deep breaths while you're standing in bamboo in the wind. This is a healing 7 precious metals bowl from the Himalayas. And it has Tara, the goddess or mother of unconditional love, also known as sometimes Mother Mary, or just the archetype of compassionate, beautiful love. So this is very much to activate our love vibration. All right, let's see how it sounds. Enjoy. Take a deep breath, smile, keep breathing. Wherever you are, let's join back here and now. We'll make a little clockwise circle over our belly with our hands, and we're going to sigh and release our hands out to the side. Float your hands to your heart, bow the head a little bit. We dedicate the merits of our practice to all sentient beings. May all beings be relieved of their suffering, and may we dwell together with great fruitfulness and harmony. The light in me greatly honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I highly, highly appreciate you, your energy, your love, and your support. And if you have any requests or if you have any comments, please keep in touch. Take good care.